Righto, welcome back everyone. It's a bit of a rainy old day here in Perth, Western Australia. So instead of going out fishing, we're going to be doing some battery testing. Righto, so inside this dusty old battery box, we've got a King's 115 amp hour AGM battery with 40 litre angle. Got it hooked up. We're running no solar inputs. We're just doing it as a bit of a battery runtime test. Also in the system, I've got a Victron 500 amp smart shunt hooked up. I've only recently just got it. It's going to be going in the cruiser to monitor the 12 volt system I've got in there. But I just thought I'd do a few tests with it, see what sort of runtime we can get out of this battery without having any solar hooked up to it, and just see what happens. Right, so inside the fridge itself, I've got 17 cans of beer, a cucumber, and some meat to throw on the barbecue. All common items you'd take camping. Got the fridge itself set on the dial to about number 2. It's usually where I run it just as a fridge setting. So this is hardly a scientific test. I haven't got any thermometers or anything like that. Just more of a real world, everyday situation. So we'll see how that goes. So I did cool the fridge down with the 240 volt to start with. So best case scenario, but I'm guessing that's how most people probably leave home for a camping trip with their fridge already cold. Alright, so it's mid-morning now. It's currently 9:21 AM. So we'll just flicker over to 12 volt now, and we'll keep monitoring it throughout the day, see how it goes. Alright, so good thing about the Victron Smart Shunt, it's Bluetooth shunt. So you just get an app on your phone to monitor all your stuff, click on the Smart Shunt, it'll load up. So it's about 10:30 now, the fridge has been running for about an hour. You can see we're only down to 99% battery. We've consumed 1.7 amp hours. The compressor's just kicked on, so it's drawing 2.6, 2.7 amps. The voltage fluctuates as it runs and that, and while it's running it'll give you an estimated time, but that sort of fluctuates as well. But currently an hour in, I haven't opened the fridge yet, so I'll open her up, simulate getting a beer out. I'm not going to drink it, not just yet anyway. So we've got a couple of bits of meat, got our cucumber, got some beers. Open it up, not really, not going to drink it just this minute. We'll have some of them later. So throughout the day I'll continue to open, close it, just like you would be if you're out camping, making lunch, that sort of carry on, just to try and keep it semi-real world. And we'll just keep an eye on the battery voltage and whatnot, and yeah, see how it goes over the day, see how many amp hours we end up using. And it'll give us a good idea of what sort of life you could expect out of your battery without any solar inputs, which of course you should be doing during the day anyway. But alright, just a quick update. It's currently 1:20 in the afternoon. As you can see there, we're down to 94% battery, consumed 7.1 amp hours. Battery's sitting at about 12.68 volts. It's actually doing pretty well considering. I've been opening it up, simulating grabbing beers out. Opened it plenty of times, so that's where we're sitting at now. We'll see how we're going a bit later. Righto, it's currently just gone 3 o'clock. What are we sitting at? 10.1 amp hours used. Battery's sitting at about 12.7 volts. It says 92% on the battery monitor. So we'll just keep rolling for a bit. Probably might plug in some camp lights, hang them up off the patio just to make it a bit more real for at night time. But currently I'm pretty impressed with what the fridge is using and the life of the battery so far, so it's going pretty well. Anyway, time to get stuck into these, and we'll see what happens later on when the sun goes down. Righto, good morning again. It's the next day. I've just flicked the switch on our little battery experiment. As you can see there, it's 9:21 AM, 24 hours after I started the experiment, so let's run through some numbers, some stats that we gathered, and see how it went. Alrighty, here we go. So when I when I shut it down, the fridge compressor was actually still running, so the battery voltage was at 12.29 volts. But when the compressor kicks off, the voltage comes back up, so that's not something to get too tied up on. It was still drawing 2.3 amps when the fridge was running. Total amp hours consumed 33.5. So that was pretty good. Yeah, I did end up plugging the LED light strip in for a couple of hours last night, and I was constantly getting up, opening and closing the fridge, getting the beers. I cooked the meat out of there as well on the barbecue next to the experiment as we were running it. I didn't film any of that, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with how the battery performed. So yeah, the King's 115 amp hour AGM battery, I've currently got 3 of them. I run 2 in the back of the cruiser. I've got the one that we were running the experiment on the fridge on. I've had that one for a bit over a year, and the ones in the cruiser are probably coming up on 3 years old. They still hold a charge really well. Yeah, they're pretty reasonably priced. For me, they've been really good. I can recommend them, but they obviously are heavy because they're AGM. Obviously you can save a bit of weight with if you went lithium, and double the actual amp hours that you can reliably use. But for me, they were cheap enough. They've done pretty well over the last couple of years, and we'll see how long into the future they go. But all in all, pretty happy, pretty stoked with the new Victron Smart Shunt. So I'll be whacking that in the cruiser to monitor that system, and might do some more experiments, maybe some solar panels and whatnot, and see if their rated amps is actually what they put out. So anyway, I hope you got something from the video, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Maybe we'll go do some fishing again shortly if the weather clears up. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.